What is up everybody, it's your boy Cameron Bash here and welcome back to the Movement channel, where today we're taking a look at all the revealed women superstars for WWE 2K22 and comparing them to the last two previous games in the WWE 2K franchise to see how they hold up. Now we know the community has been begging 2K to reveal more in-game footage of the women for WWE 2K22, something that we definitely want to see more of as well, but in case you guys didn't know already, a handful of women have already been revealed with in-game footage and screenshots for the game, and we're going to share those with you today, as well as seeing how they compare to both WWE 2K20 and WWE 2K19. Just to be clear, while we do know some women have been revealed for the game in certain MyGM screenshots for example, such as Tamina, we're only going to be looking at female superstars who have in-game footage and images revealed thus far, so without further ado, let's jump into it. Starting off, we're taking a look at a former undefeated streak holder, Asuka, and we have to say right off the bat, she is looking like one of the most detailed models in WWE 2K22 thus far. A big reason for that is her coat and mask. These are attire pieces that she has in real life that are obviously very detailed, but because they are so detailed, that level of detail never really made it into the games. However, WWE 2K22 seems to be changing that, as this image of her in-game gives us such a good look at the amount of detail that they were able to capture compared to previous games, like how the spikes stick out of the jacket rather than being a flat texture, and how she actually has chains dangling from her mask now. This is one of the most improved for us, and we'd give it top marks for that reason. Next up we have Bayley. Now Bayley is an interesting one when comparing her to previous games because this is the first year that she's had her new heel gimmick in the game, as she was still a babyface when WWE 2K20 and 2K19 were released. Gimmicks aside though, the level of detail and realism in Bayley's face in 2K22 is off the charts compared to previous games, and it really makes the last two games look quite laughable. Not only that, but the textures in both her hair and in the leather on her attire look more realistic than ever before, so again, we're saying this one is another big improvement from 2K and another round of top marks. Next, we have Becky Lynch. Now at this time, Becky Lynch only has one screenshot revealed for WWE 2K22 and it's not even one of her face, but despite that, we can still get quite a lot of information from it. Right off the bat, the thing that stands out the most is her hair. The detail and texture in her hair this year looks incredible versus the solid fixed piece from previous years. On top of that, it tells us that Becky is getting a radically different entrance, something she's been in need of in the games, to match the level of energy that she brings in real life. It's hard to really give a fair judgment on how her in-game model for 2K20 compares to old games at this time, so we're going to hold back on that for now until we get a better look at her, but hopefully, it's going to be an improvement over what we've had for the last two games. The fourth woman we have to show you today is Bianca Belair, and I have to say, this is probably my personal favourite in-game model for WWE 2K22 out of all the ones we're covering here today, because you can really see how much care and detail went into this model to improve on her versus previous years. One of my biggest complaints with Bianca's model in both 2K19 and 2K20 is how the hair came across really thin and unnatural when she was swinging it around. Look nothing like how she does it in real life, but that problem seems to be something of the past now, as you can see a lot of thickness has been added to her braid to make it more accurate to real life. On top of that, a lot of colour has been added to her entrance, something that you can clearly see is lacking from the previous two games when it comes to her entrance. So yeah, I'm very happy with these improvements, and I hope Bianca has a strong in-game overall to go with them. Naomi is the next woman we're talking about today, and to be honest with you, it's a little hard to tell where we're at with her model based on what we've got so far. We have a really short, fast clip of her quickly sliding on her knees through a bright yellow light, which doesn't really give us a great look at any of her details. It confirms that she's got the same entrance as previous years, coming back with some slight updates, but other than that, it doesn't give us a lot to go off when it comes to her model. So just like with Becky, we want to give this one a fair fighting chance and wait until we have a better look at it before we judge it too harshly. One thing we did think was interesting though was the lack of the glowing blacklight entrance that Naomi has become famous for. With all the updates that 2K have had to add to this game, both in terms of graphics as well as the entrances, we think there's a chance that the blacklight feature may have needed to be removed, which to be honest, looking at these screenshots from the previous games, you can kinda see why, as they continue on this path to make the game look as quality as possible, because those old screenshots don't really look all that quality in the blacklight. Rhea Ripley is up next, and while she wasn't in WWE 2K19, we do have a good comparison for her between 2K22 and 2K20. Now I think we're definitely seeing some improvement when it comes to the attire and presentation of Rhea Ripley, not only in what she's wearing, but even in the attitude in the way she's standing. The image in 2K22 feels a lot more like the real Rhea Ripley than it does in 2K20, but at this time, with the screenshot that we've got, her model isn't really looking all that great in 2K22. Granted, it's not the best camera angle, but still, it's not the best model either, and to be honest with you, looking at these images side by side, if we remove the game logos, I would probably guess that the one on the left was from 2K20 and the one on the right was from 2K19. So, all in all, not too impressed with this one, but we'll be sure to give it more of a fair shot when we get to see a proper look at it at a later date. Next up, we have the boss, Sasha Banks, and she actually comes with two different WWE 2K22 previews, so we've got two different comparisons for you. One is of her on the stage mid-entrance, and the other is of her about to get into the ring, also mid-entrance. Now once again, you can really see that new attention to detail coming through in Sasha's attire, with the gemstones and leather looking more detailed than ever before. You also see that coming through in the hair again as well. The face model isn't quite there in 2K22, but is definitely a big improvement over the models for 2K20 and 2K19, where they hardly look like Sasha at all. Finally, we think the entrance for this new model suits the updated Sasha quite well, and is certainly needed when compared side by side with the old ones, as you can see those are pretty outdated at this point. Overall, definitely more impressed with this one than we were compared to Rhea Ripley, for example, but we do think some more work could be done on Sasha's face to really bring it all together. Our final comparison for this video comes with Shayna Baszler, where I would go out on a limb and say that this is the most improved out of all the ones we've covered here today. Whether it was 2K20 or 2K19, something about Shayna's models was just always lacking. Whether it was the lack of detail in her face, the lack of detail in her attire, or just all-round lack of presence when it comes to this woman, they were just not giving her the justice that she deserves. Well, thankfully, 2K22 has really gone above and beyond with this one, making her more detailed than ever before in her face, body, and attire. Hopefully, she gets a badass entrance to go alongside it, to really make this woman feel as intimidating as she does in real life in the game. Now as I said, that does it for the comparisons for this video, but as we said at the beginning of the video, we'd show you all the women that have currently been shown for WWE 2K22 in-game, so please allow us to show you Shotzi, who not only looks to have a fantastic in-game model, but also looks to have one of the best in-game entrances as well, with her tank. On top of her, we also got confirmation of Dana Brooke, Kaylee Ray, Raquel Gonzalez, and Carmella with in-game footage, but seeing as that was either footage of them being attacked or attacking, it wasn't really the best for comparison purposes, but we wanted to let you know that they were seen in the game nonetheless. But anyway guys, that's going to do it for this video. What's been your favourite woman model revealed for WWE 2K22 so far? And which ones are you wanting them to reveal soon? Be sure to leave all your thoughts in the comment section down below, and while you're down there, don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe for more WWE 2K22 content. Thanks very much for watching this video guys, and we'll see you soon for another one.